Hey guys, how's it going? Just want to make sure my audio is good and you guys aren't getting an echo. Test, test, test. Well, sounds good to me. Happy Monday. I hope everybody is good. So, crochet stream today. I was thinking about doing Stardew, but I feel like let's get some crochet fun in. I think the first thing I want to start with today is probably connecting some more granny squares because I've got a lot. And I made more this weekend. So I think I want to connect some granny squares. But before that, hi, how's it going? I hope you guys have had a decent Monday. Um, my Monday was pretty good. We had a teacher dress up day today, and it was Moo Moo Day. So I'm wearing a rainbow Moo Moo. They're so comfortable. I couldn't get over it. They're like ridiculously comfortable. But my wife just like looked at me like I had three heads when I left for work this morning. What else happened today? It's Monday. I had my normal kiddos. We had a math test. Yeah. Hopefully it's the last fit check. Yeah. Woo. Big moo moo. Big gay moo moo. Um, hopefully it's the last math test of the year. They say it is, but sometimes it's hard to believe. Front to cover. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so granny squares. I have my little pattern written out because I always forget which square goes after which thing. So yeah. So after I'm on this end, after the blue star is just a plain old tan granny square. So how I join is I put them both face together and I go in the loop closest to me and the loop farthest away from me. So technically they're both back loops. It just looks a bit weirder when you have them front sides together. And I just do it that way. I'm not sure if it's called a whip stitch or a mattress. This is just what I do. And it makes it nice and flat, that you don't get that big bump in the middle. So yeah. So let's get started on that next one. Okay. So tomorrow, I still have like 3 weeks worth of the school year. It's because we had like a week's worth of snow days earlier in the year because of that blizzard. And my state didn't get a waiver. Well, the state, let me correct that. The state I work in didn't get a waiver. The state I live in did get a waiver. So my son is done with school like 2 weeks before I am. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get those whip stitches. I think it's whip. I don't know if it's whip stitch. I'm probably just saying this all wrong. Somebody out in land will correct me, I'm sure. Oh, oh, girls. Sorry, I think my son's home. Everybody's going crazy. The bird's going wild. The two dogs are going wild. I'm pretty sure it's my son's home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go heat up his food and come right back. So just bear with me a second. All right, we good. Food has been put into the microwave. And now I can go back to stitching. Okay, so what were we talking about? This week I have 2 field trips. So one tomorrow and one on Friday. I have my last IEP meeting of the year, which has been postponed about 4 times. We could have held it without the parent at this point, but yeah. And that's about it. One thing I am doing this week that has gotten a couple of my special education students a little upset is, so we do this thing that once a week, my 4th grade special education students eat lunch in my room. Oh my gosh, stop whining. Go see him. So my special education students eat lunch in my room about once a week. Sometimes I skip weeks, but once a week we do it. And I always get asked by the other kids in their class, oh, can we come too? Can we come too? And I always say no, because this is my time with them to give them some extra attention. But this week I decided, okay, just for one week, I will let whoever wants to in this class come to my room for lunch. And surprise, surprise, all of them wanted to come into my room for lunch. So on Thursday, I'm going to have 19 4th graders in my little special education classroom having lunch with me. It's a bit of a we are done with the end of the year type thing. Weird. I was just trying to figure out what was going on in my house. You know how that goes. Okay. So that should be interesting. That's on Thursday. So field trip tomorrow, IEP Wednesday, big lunch on Thursday, field trip on Friday. So yeah, I've got a bit of a handful week this week. I've also got to write progress notes because the progress notes for IEPs are due next week. And I have, I'm like 70% done. I'll be fine. It's just a matter of typing them all up, getting them into the system, getting them printed out, and getting them to the special education administrative assistant to file away. Okay, so that is one. Oh, these spammers. All right, that's one done. So the whole row of crochet needs to be 16 stitches long. And I'm looking for my snips. This happens like every crochet stream. Where are my snips? Can't find my snips. Where are my snips? Yeah. And of course, oh, I have a pair of scissors. Oh, I didn't even see those up there. Yes. Okay. So let's see how many are in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 3 more in this row. All right, so after the tan granny is the multicolored one. So this is my one I've deemed multicolored. It's kind of like a starburst pattern. I forgot the actual name for it. I've got it bookmarked somewhere, but that's the one. So again, I'm doing right sides together. Oh, look, I already look at me. I already wove in all the ends for that one. Good job, Sarah. Thinking ahead. That's usually not what I do. I did ask the question on my TikTok the other day. Are you the type to weave in your ends, or are you the type to leave it for the end and completely regret leaving it for the end? With this particular blanket thing I'm making, I usually don't leave the ends in on the squares. I will do a complete row, then weave in the ends for everything. Yeah. So I'm kind of like doing a little bit as I go along, but not exactly at the time it's needed. All right, let's do another set of connectings. So back loop only, back loop to back loop. That's how I do these. Okay. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I have a new streaming setup. I finally got OBS. Oh, I know. I'm finally getting with the times. I would have done it sooner, but I had to get a computer because right now I only have a Chromebook. Well, before right now, I only had a Chromebook, and you can't run OBS on a Chromebook. So I got a mini PC, but the mini PC didn't have the VGA input that my monitor uses, and I wasn't going to go out and buy a new monitor. This is like an old monitor that I had kicking around in my basement. Brought it up and realized that even though it said it had VGA and even though it showed VGA in the picture, the Amazon seller was like, yeah, so sorry, it doesn't. And then they were like, oh, go and buy this converter. It'll be fine. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not spending more money to cover your mistake. So I'm like, okay, a converter costs this much money. Give me this much money to cover it. And they did. They refunded me basically twice the amount of the converter. So then I had to wait for the converter to get in, and I spent most of the weekend tinkering around with OBS, getting new like layouts and designing the little pictures you're seeing. I still have that massive glare. I need to get a shade for that window. It wouldn't be as bad. So I now have OBS. I now have a cute little stream. And you see those little, the little plant things at the bottom here? Maybe if I, down there. Yeah, those little plants. It's something that if you chat, they grow. Now, I usually don't have a lot of chatters. I tend to have like the lurkers. But what it does is it assigns you, like each chat person has their own little plant, and the more they chat, the more it grows. I'm like, oh, that is adorable. So I bought that little thing. I don't even know what they're called. Elements? Elements. And I've got that going. Right now, it's just my little bots are the ones that are making things grow. But hey ho, I'm a new-ish streamer. I'm new. I've been streaming less than a month. No, I've been streaming about a month. Closer to 2 now. Oh yeah, lots of new changes. So I did a layout for crochet. I did a layout for Stardew Valley, and I've done a layout for co-working and body doubling. I haven't done a whole lot of co-working and body doubling, but my plan is this summer when I have a lot of housework that I need to get to, it'll be done. Oh, did I just poof this up? Slightly. I connected it with the wrong color yarn. Is anyone going to notice other than me? Probably not. So we'll leave it. I'm not going to rip out my work. Okay. After that one is a blue granny. Blue granny. See, now I can use the blue again. Will that be it then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so it'll be blue granny and then tan sun one. I don't know if I have any of those left. I don't, so I'll have to make some changes. What I might do, mixed granny, is connect a whole bunch of the blue grannies to these, like 3 of those. So at least I'm doing something. I'm still progressing, but I'm not exactly making the row because I need to make more of a different type of granny square. So yeah. And I've got my Monstera leaves hanging up there. That project's coming along really well. And I'm so happy that I got those donations of yarn because it had the exact color I needed. I was so happy. Yeah, that was lovely. So, how are we doing? I just want to check my streams. These look good. Okay. So right now I'm streaming on Twitch. And I'm also streaming on YouTube Live. And I would probably stream on TikTok too, but this kind of, like, crochet doesn't look good in a vertical layout, in my opinion. Because I really, like, I want you guys to see everything that I'm doing. And I can't crochet like this. You know what I mean? So that ain't gonna work. Okay. So we're just chugging along here, connecting these granny squares. So tomorrow's field trip is to a couple of historical places in the town that I teach in. Well, 2 historical places, 1 historical church, 1 historical home, and then we're actually going to the fire and police station. And that's the one that the kids are looking forward to the most. I wouldn't mind hanging out at the fire station because they got cool stuff. But yeah, okay. Moving right along. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to connect these ones to the blue grannies that I made because I need to make more of the tan sunburst. I forgot what it is. That kind. Oh, all wound up. That's better. So what am I using? I am using a plastic darning needle. This is both of these. So all of the yarn that I'm using for this is Red Heart Super Saver. I don't remember the name of this blue. I believe the name of this variegated is like desert or something like that. Dune, desert. I'll have to look it up. And then the tan is the color buff. And I know that one because I've made so many projects with this tan color. You'd think it was like the only yarn that I have, but I don't. I have a lot. Okay, so let's fasten this one off. Okay. Right, so this is as far as I can go on this particular row because I am missing the last square's type. So we're going to roll her up so I can get some more room. And we're going to start connecting these ones to these ones that are in my little blocker. So somebody on YouTube had asked me about this, I believe. I think it was YouTube. Maybe it was a TikTok. Okay. So this is a granny square blocker. And basically after you finish your granny squares, you set them, you put it in here. So it stretches and holds a shape that's more square-like, as opposed to like if I didn't stretch these, they would look like this. Here's one that's not been stretched. See how curly? It's like curlied up at the end. By blocking them, you don't get that stretch. I mean that curl. Some people wet block, they'll like spray this down. I think you mostly do that with wool though. This is just acrylic. I don't wet block, I just dry block, and I usually leave them in for about 24 to 48 hours. And they come off and they're like very flat. None of that curl. Looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to put my blocker to one side. And we are going to connect 3 of those with 3 of these. Just make pairs. And then I'll have two blue grannies left, and I have to finish that tan granny that's over there. And then that'll be all of my like leftover all of my leftover granny squares accounted for. So I think I'm going to have to do another bulk crocheting of granny squares. But in the meantime, let's start putting these puppies together. Okay. So again, we are just doing the whole right sides together. Make sure I'm in the right shot. Yeah, so over the last couple weeks, I've gotten a lot of equipment for streaming because I really like doing it. Like, I know I'm not going to make a lot of, I mean, I don't think I'm going to make any money. Let's be real. But I think it'll be, so it's something I enjoy doing. And a lot of the stuff I already had. I already had the monitor and the Gorilla tripod. I'm using 2 iPhones that I've had for my cameras and my mics. I have a clip-on mic that I used when I was teaching online that I haven't really broken out yet. What I've bought for streaming is my computer, obviously. I've bought a little arm for this camera right here, and that comes with a light that I don't have on. I probably should turn it on. Let's see. Ooh, it's too yellow though. I don't want the yellow. I want the blue. There we go. See, now I got shadows. What do you think? With light or without? I guess we'll do with light. You guys probably see these colors better. And that's all I've really got. Oh, and a power strip. I needed a power strip for plugging everything in because the power strip I usually have, I brought to work with me so I could plug in everything there. So all in all, maybe I mean, the computer was $250. The arm, I think, was like 16. And that's it. That's all I bought, really, right? Power strip was 4. So I've spent less than $300. I mean, discounting the computer, I've not spent a whole lot. And I'm reusing a lot of stuff. I haven't bought any yarn that I wouldn't have bought anyway, just for my own personal projects. I've actually gotten donations of yarn from people at work, which means I have to spend less money. So yeah. I bought elements, like the different like PNG files for these graphics and the Stardew graphics and the co-working graphics. So that was probably another $30 for all of that combined. It wasn't a lot. And I bought those from like people I know. So I'd rather do that whole support small business thing. So yeah. I can hear my dog chewing on a bone in the other room. She does that after she eats almost every day. Go. All right, we're also almost done with this set, this pairing. Just gotta make sure everything lines up the right way. Okay, almost there. I had one of the third graders, not one of my students, just a different third grader, ask me today if I was doing crochet club after school next year. And I'm like, yep, I plan on it. So if you don't know, I am a elementary special education teacher. I teach third and fourth grade. But I'm the type of teacher that I'm everybody's teacher. That type of thing. So a lot of kids know me, and I run 2 after school groups. One is fiber arts, and that is for students in first and second grade. So that's like 6, 7, 8-ish years old. And that is like a general kind of arts and crafts session with yarn and glue, weaving, God's eyes, that type of thing. The other, so that's one day a week. On another day of the week, I do a crochet club, which is strictly crochet. Um, excuse me. And that is for third and fourth graders. So that's like 9, 10, 11-ish years old. I realize I need to tie this off. Oh, excuse me. God, I have such bad burps today. What is the deal? So crochet club after school. And my last crochet club just wrapped up about 2 weeks ago. And that was the last one for the year. So I ran 3 sessions this year, one in each of the trimesters. And my plan is to run it again next year. All right. So I'm going to block this one. You guys can kind of see how the whole blocking board works. I'm just putting in the corners and then put in the middle sections. With granny squares, I try to get it into those spaces between the, oh, this is really tight, this one. I try to get it in between the, so I wonder if I used a different needle for that one, because that is super tight. I try to get the stick in between the stitches. And I blocked that because I need this buff colored yarn. Where am I going to put this? I'm trying to figure out where to put this. Put it there for now. I need this buff colored yarn to stitch. So there we go. Okay. Let's see what this is up to. Okay. SJ Crochet Live Shape. Why didn't it carry across the title? That's weird. I'm looking at my YouTube stream and I'm wondering why it didn't carry across the title. Okay. Let's do a new title. Okay. Let's see if that works. That's weird. I just want to go back to where I was. Okay, that's better. So let's string up another set of, string up this darning needle and get another blue and mixed stacked together. All right, right sides together. And let's go. So it's also the time of the year when teachers get together and start deciding who's going to be in what class next year. And the original plan is for me to have my third graders again in fourth grade. Um, the lists I have seen don't quite do that. So I might need to not intervene, but just see what's going on at some point, because my principal has let me know, yes, I'm going to have my students again. Um, but the way the classes are split up right now is a bit weird anyway, because there needs to be basically a teacher and a half for fourth grade. They're hiring a new full-time teacher for fourth grade. And then I will do part fourth grade, part third grade, more than likely. But the way they have the classes split right now is that I have 4 students on my caseload for fourth grade, and the full-time teacher has 15. That's not how this works. Like, for example, the arrangement I'm in this year, I'm also doing third and fourth again this year. I have 7 fourth grade students, and I believe my other fourth grade counterpart has 10 right now. We started off with the same number, but she picked up more students during the school year than I did. So those numbers need to even out somehow. And I'm sure they will. I'm not stressed about it. I just want to make sure that what I have told to parents is accurate information, because a lot of those parents want me to be with their child again next year. And I would like to be with those kids again next year. They're a good group of kids. We made so much progress, especially in their reading this year, like unbelievable progress. And I want to continue that. I just want to do what I can for these guys. And, I like looping. I think it's good to an extent. I think looping for 2 years is one thing. I wouldn't want to loop for 4 years or even 3 years, because the kids become too used to you. And they basically need to learn how to adjust to teachers, even teachers that they don't like. And that's a big adjustment that my fourth graders are having this year. They really don't like one of their teachers, and it makes it hard for them and for me, because I obviously can't badmouth my colleague, but I also don't want to invalidate their feelings of frustration and the things that don't work for them as students. So it's a bit of a tricky balance at times. All right, I'm just tying off this section, leaving enough for it to get weaved in. All right, another pairing is done. 1, 2. And we can do one more set of these, I believe. So let's put these over here so you guys can see the prettiness. So let's do another set. And then it might be time to make some tan granny squares. Or I could dig out, no, I don't want to dig out that pattern, because I'm pretty sure it's on my phone. And if I take the pattern off my phone, I'm going to lose my camera. And I don't want to do that right now. Excuse me. Gosh, the indigestion is unreal today. You wouldn't think I'd take omeprazole. Okay. Let's connect these two babies. All right, right side and right side and right side. Okie dokes. So are you guys watching any good TV lately? I think the last show that I watched was Testaments, the spin-off second. It's not really a spin-off. It's like a sequel to Handmaid's Tale. I also watched Daredevil Born Again, which I really liked. I like all of the Marvel type stuff. Um, I haven't watched Wonder Man. Probably should. But those are the last two shows that I watched. Um, right now, I'm on a bit of a true crime kick with YouTube, various YouTube channels. My absolute favorite true crime YouTube channel is Dreading. I love the stuff that he does, the way he does it. He seems very down to earth. He just doesn't do one video on a topic and then leave it alone forever. He like breaks it down into multiple videos, digging different angles of trial and interrogations and witness interviews. It's really, I like the way he does it. Um, Apparently he has a very Jim Can't Swim type. I don't know if I've ever watched any Jim Can't Swim stuff, but I've heard he's like the benchmark for good true crime YouTube. So I've been watching mostly that. Um, I'll watch a little bit at night before I go to sleep. I will watch a little bit in the morning before the students come in. And yeah, sometimes on the weekends. But I definitely need a new show for my wife and I to watch together. It might be Outlander. Is that coming out again soon? It might be Outlander. It might be Wonder Man. Although, say that the second season of House of the Dragon is coming out soon. I think 2 weeks. I want to say the 21st. I think that's what I saw on social media. I love Game of Thrones. I love it. I love it. I love the books. I love most of the show. I love Night of Seven Kingdoms. Oh, that was so good. And I can't wait for the next two seasons. Season 2 isn't my favorite of the three books or the three stories that are already out. Season 1 was definitely my favorite one. Season 3 is my next favorite story. Not to say that the story for season 2 is going to be bad or anything. I just don't like it as much as the other two. Okay. So those granny squares are done. So we have 3 little pairings. So what I have left is 2 more blues and the tan that I started stretching like 4 minutes ago. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pairings away. I'm going to put this unfinished row away. All right, so those are going to go away. These are going to go away. I've just basically got everything in a little basket. I've got my yarn off to one side. Once I'm done streaming, I'll throw that into the basket too, just to keep, like, each project has its own little basket. Oh, okay, so I think what I want to do now is granny squares. And I need to find my appropriate sized hook. That's a 5.5. I think I need a 5. I need a 5. Do I have a 5? Or do I need to go find a 5? I might need to go find a 5. Ooh, good catch. All right, let's look at my little, I have a little thingy here. That's a 10. That's an 8. That's a 7. 5, 8, 6, 2.5, 2. These are all too big. This is a 3. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go get a 5 from downstairs. Right? Maybe it's in my handbag. I'll be right back. Watch my yarn for me. It was. My 5 was in my handbag. Okay. So I tend to use these kind of Clover knockoff crochet hooks. I like the silicone. I don't tend to like holding just the bare metal. My wife got me these really cool plastic ones for Christmas. I definitely want to make something with this 20 millimeter. I don't know what, but I definitely do want to make one. Okay, so let's put the hook cup. We'll leave the hook cup there. So the next, I don't know if you guys, is this upside down? Is this backwards? Backwards, upside down? Red Heart Super Saver in the color of buff. It is a 4-weight. I'm sure if you've crocheted before, you have a huge clue as to what Red Heart Super Saver is. And the great thing about granny squares is that I don't need a pattern to do it. Will I have one up anyway? Yes, because my brain is mush. So I need to pull up a granny square pattern. And I always go to the same one from Crochet 365 Knit 2 TOO. And I use her pattern as my reference. Like I said, sometimes I just need something to look back at. So I've got that up. I don't necessarily need it right in front of me, so I'm going to switch back to my monitors. 3, 4, 5. And is it chain 5 at the start? I don't do magic squares. It is chain 5. I don't do magic squares. I mean, magic squares, magic circles. First, I don't do them very well, so I just don't do them full stop. And I find they come out a lot more easily than what I tend to do is chain 5 and then join them together. But for your standard granny square with the double crochets, it's all good. So what I do is 3 granny crochets, 3 granny crochets, 3 double crochets make up the little key part. And then I do 2 chains in between each cluster and 3 chains in each corner. And I'm pretty sure that's how most people do it, but that's the way I learned. That's the way my dad's aunts made huge crochet blankets, and that's the way they did it. So I'm going to stick with that. This granny square blanket has been in the works for about, I think I started on it this winter. So we're looking at 6-ish months. Which is my current longest running whip. I have whips that I haven't touched in years that I probably will never get back to, but are still sitting in my basement in a Tupperware tub. That I probably just should frog and use the yarn again, but hey ho. Maybe one day I'll go back to that stained glass, was it Cathedral Rose blanket I was making many, many years ago. when I wasn't a good crocheter yet. Not that I'm a fabulous crocheter right now, but I'm a lot better than I was 15 years ago. 2, 3. So at some point this week, I need to dig out the pattern for that sunburst style granny square, so I can make some more of those. I mean, they're not going to go to waste by any means. I think when I calculated it out, it was like 300 odd granny squares to make the size of the blanket that I wanted. So at this point, there's no such thing as making too many of a square type. It's just a matter of what I have available then. What I should probably do is bring a skein of this to school with me, and then I can do some lunchtime crochet videos for you guys. I've done 2 of those so far, and they've done pretty decently on YouTube. It's just like quiet ASMR-ish crochet videos. I don't do a lot of talking or any talking in them. It's just the sounds of the school building, the sounds of my needles, my hooks and my yarn, um, me breathing. But for some reason, those do pretty well. And so with my TikTok streams of just like random crochet minutes. I can't complain. It does make me laugh what some people are into, though. 1, 2, 3. I haven't quite gotten to the stage of being able to do many projects without looking at the project. I follow a couple of crocheters on YouTube, and they're just sat there like for minutes at a time staring at the screen and talking while they're like whipping up these multi-stitch projects. And I'm thinking to myself, I get confused talking and counting stitches at the same time. I'm assuming they're not counting stitches. They probably have like a marker somewhere that they know, okay, when I hit this marker, I'm done. And they're just doing the same pattern of stitches over and over again. I hope. Because I know, maybe it's just my brain, but there are definitely times, like if I'm following a pattern and I'm trying to concentrate on that pattern, I can't talk at the same time. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to move my little stretchy thingy back here. Oh, today's drink of choice is purple Gatorade. No, purple Powerade. Great flavor. Hydration break. Okay, that's the next row done. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. What did I just do here? That's not what I wanted to do. How did I end up where I ended up? That's really weird. I'm just going to have to slip stitch all the way to the other corner. I did see, this is what I mean about talking and crocheting at the same time. Sometimes my brain's just not going to brain. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Can't even tell. Okay. Oh, oh. Karina hears somebody or something. Might be a neighbor dog. You know what I need something that goes against this corner so my arms don't look like this. You see them? That's a bit ridiculous. I need something because I'm not crocheting with my hands like this. Like that's weird for me. I'm not crocheting up here. I need to I crochet at chest height. In order for me to do that, I'm leaning my forearms against the corner of my desk. But it hurts. Like right now, it's a bit painful. So I need something to go over the corner of this desk to make my life less weak. Because look at that. I mean, I know it's just impressions and it's just a little bit red, but maybe I'll just crochet like this for a little break and see if I can actually do it. You guys still see everything okay? Looks like you can. Now it's just in my face. And I feel like I'm standing up straighter now. I can't slouch, I guess, when I'm crocheting like this. I can't. I gotta slouch a little bit. I gotta slouch and I gotta put my arms down. That was just way too much for me. Oh, that looks weird. That all got bitty. See that? That right there? I'm gonna frog back and see what happened. My yarn split. That's what happened. There you go. Okay. Oh, this yarn is getting really splitty. Especially like right here. Can you guys see it? How it's untwisting? When was this batched? Does it have a batch date? May of 2025. See, that shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be this splitty. Because it did again. See over here? How it's like that? Yeah. I'll frog one more. Okay. I gotta retwist it. Maybe if I retwist a little bit, it'll help. All right, one more double crochet. Let's hopefully it won't be too splitty. Okay. 1, 2. That looks a lot better. I mean, it's still a little splitty, but it's getting the job done. Okay. Sorry, I'm just doing some scrolls to see what we're up to. Okay. Rounding out another corner. 2, 3. I probably should time myself to see how long it takes me to do a granny square like this. Because I had a plan originally that this past Friday I was going to do a granny square speed run where I see how many I can get done in the course of an hour. Unfortunately, my internet died. The cable guys were out today and they said that there was some kind of water damage at the pole. So they fixed stuff out there. So hopefully that won't be an issue again, but I just need to reschedule that little plan of mine. I'm thinking I'm doing about 10 minutes a granny square. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah. Okay. So streaming tomorrow. I don't know if I will be streaming tomorrow. Um, Tomorrow's Tuesday. I believe I'm getting my son after school tomorrow. So that would put me back home about 6-ish, 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish. So maybe I might do a TikTok. I might do Stardew. 1, 2. Okay. So I don't know. I did let them out after dinner. I took them out after dinner. 3. Yeah, so I'm not 100% if I am going to stream tomorrow. It depends on a bunch of other. Oh, what happened here? Oh, because I'm at the end. Ooh. Sorry. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And join that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, one more round to go. This is so weird that I keep ending up in this wrong spot. I probably started in the wrong spot. That's what my problem probably is. 1, 2, 3. We'll see what this one looks like. I'm starting a cluster like mid. We'll see if that even works, because I don't think it will, but hey ho. 1, 2. All right, so we've been here an hour. Hi guys, thanks for coming back. Two and 3. So what would you guys suggest I make with a 20mm crochet hook? Like, I really want to use it. Really, really want to use it, but I don't know even what size yarn that goes with. I guess I could ask Amazon, like YouTube, not YouTube, Google. What size yarn do you use a 20mm crochet hook with? I'm guessing it's probably like a 8, maybe? An 8 weight? Maybe a 9 weight? I don't know. Hi, Karina. My older dog looks like she's going to bed for the night. Or she's just getting a drink of water. I don't know. Okay. All right. I should put a timer up. I do have a timer widget that I use in my co-working setup. Wouldn't that be cool to put it up here too, to see like how long it does take me to do a granny square? Okay. Getting there. It does look a bit weird with me not starting in a corner. I don't know if I'm going to have to frog this one. So tomorrow is another spirit day for teachers at work. I won't say what, in case any of my students are lurking. Um, but yeah, it's a whole week of like underground teacher stuff. I love these kind of days. That's the nice thing about working in elementary schools is you get to do like fun, cheesy stuff like that. Like I've worked in middle schools. I've worked in pre-Ks. I teach summer school to high school, like transition age. But as far as like getting the most enjoyment out of my job, it's elementary school. That being said, I do tend to enjoy working with middle schoolers more than I enjoy working with elementary school students. But that's no slight on them. I love the kiddos I have this year. I can't say I've got a single kid that drives me up a wall every single day. Like, yes, don't get me wrong. They do drive me up walls at least once a day. But there are none of my students where I think to myself, oh God, I have to go into a classroom and see that kid again. Not a single one. And yes, I have had years like that where like I'm having to go in every day and remind myself why I'm in that space. This year, I don't. Okay, so we'll see how this one looks with me not starting it in the middle. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's join this up in the weird place. Like that. I mean, I don't think it looks bad. I think it'll look fine after I stretch it. Yeah, I think it'll look fine after it's stretched. Okay. Let's get this on the stretcher, blocker, whatever you want to call it. I think it's actually called a blocking set, blocking pegs. See, this one feels a lot less tight than I must have. I think I made this other one with a smaller needle. I mean, the gaps are lining up. The stitches are lining up-ish. But, hey. All right, shall we do another one? Oh, let's do stretch. Stretch and hydration break. I can tell I'm getting old because every once in a while my thumb will go numb when I'm crocheting. I'm like, oh, please don't tell me I'm getting carpal tunnel. I don't even know if that's what carpal tunnel is. If it's like pins and needles in your thumb. But if I take regular breaks and stretch my hands, I'm usually okay. It's like those ASMR videos. They go. If I still had nails, I'd be like, tick, 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 but I don't have nails right now because I can't afford them. Huh. I could never do an ASMR channel. I think I just laugh too much. Not that I think that like I love those kind of channels, and I do watch them, but I would just I'd be like giggling the whole time I was doing like weird motions and weird sounds. And, it's all good. 2, 3, 4. Well, since we're an hour in, I will ask all of the things. If you are on YouTube Live, I would love to have your subscription. If you could hit that button, the bell's even better, so you can know when I'm coming on and going. Um, I'm really hoping to get to enough YouTube um, subscribers that I can stream live from my phone. And I guess you can only do that after like 1,000 subscribers. So maybe next year, the year after. But every subscription on YouTube helps. If you're on Twitch, I am at 21 followers. My goal is 30 by the 1st of July. Excuse me. So if you can throw me a follow there, I'd be grateful as well. I'm also on TikTok, SJ Crochet. And I do occasionally live stream there. That's more of kind of like on the fly stuff. I've been streaming from track meets. I think I did one stream on my back porch, my back deck one day, but that's more of like a not formal setting like this is. Like this is my house. I'm at my desk where I have all my streaming set up. Where my TikTok ones tend to be like, hey, I'm at work, or I'm at this track meet, or that type of thing. So if you like more of those unpolished type videos, that's where you can find me there. And that's also SJ Crochet. And that's enough of the commercial break for now. Thank you. So we are working on another buff colored granny square. And, oh, did I lose? I didn't lose. Let's do a time check. So it is 7:07. We'll call it 7:05 when I started. And we'll see how long that takes for me to do it. Now, obviously this is not going to be my best time because I'm stopping and chatting and probably going to mess up a few times because chatting and crocheting at the same time is sometimes hard for me. And this yarn is really getting splitty, and I can it's squidgy yarn today. I can feel it squeaking against the needle, that weird acrylic squidginess. So that's kind of grossing me out. 2, 3. All right, another cluster. 1, 2, 2. Ooh, hear gunshots. I would worry, but I live next to a rod and gun club, so it's probably from that. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch over to the next corner. Okay. It's a weird sound. Ooh, itchy nose. I'm going to do one little change up that I didn't do last time that I think will make the difference of me ending in a corner each time. But we'll see. One. That's a loud gun today. I'm guessing it's probably because the wind is blowing this way, so the sound is traveling a lot further or noisier. I don't know. I'm getting a nice center peel going. I've got a nice little center pull going on. Look at that. Kind of looks like a Shai Halud. That's what my tattoo's from, actually. I have the Litany Without Fear. Litany of Fear. Litany from Fear. Probably should know it. It's on my body. Yeah, the Litany of Fear from Dune. I have tattooed on my forearm. And I got it after staying in a hospital for like 10 days or so, getting help I needed. Yeah, so I have the most of it. It's actually, there's one line that's not in there purposely, but the rest of it is. Okay. You know, the bad thing about getting OBS now is I can see all like my little stats, like, oh, you have this many. I don't have any missed frames. Average time to render frames. CPU usage. Disk space available. Like all that little data that tickles people's brains. Oh, oh, that was scooped up. Oop. You're gonna get frogged. Oh, my arms. They hurt. I wonder what I could put on this corner. Oh, I'll have to think of something. I do have a keyboard rest, like those long gel things that you put in front of your keyboard. I wonder if that would make any difference. I'll have to bring that in. I have it at work right now, on my keyboard at work. So we'll have to remember to bring that home and not leave it there over the summer. This is also the first school year in I don't know how long that I haven't had to pack up my classroom at the end of it. God, when was the last time I didn't have to do that? Like 5 years ago, I think, was the last time I didn't have to pack up a room because I was either moving rooms or moving schools or something like that. I think it's been like 5 years. Yeah, before I was student teaching. When I was still a TA, I was in the same room for 3 years, I think. And then I student taught in that room. And then after that, I've been to 4 different schools. So I finished my student teaching in the May and then immediately got a substitute teaching job in that same district for the rest of the school year. And then I went to another district because we had layoffs. So I obviously didn't get a position, got laid off. No, I went to the elementary school for a year, then got laid off. And then I went to a different town and realized almost immediately that that was not a place I wanted to be. So I left and went back to my original place. Got laid off. Went to a charter school in Massachusetts. That definitely did not work out for me. So now I'm back in the public school. And then before that, I was a TA for 10 years or so, with most of that time in a different charter school in Massachusetts. So I've been working in education since I was 21, right? 19, 20, 21, 22. When I left college the first time, got a job as a TA. One. I think I'm going to lean back a little bit because my arms are really hurting. Downside is you guys can't see me in this cam. Maybe can I just do this? Does that work? I don't know. You guys tell me. If it's not working, let me know. You can see more of my glorious moo-moo. Look at this thing. I can't wait to see the pictures that came out. People were taking pictures all day, and we'll have to. I can't wait to see them. What is my doggy barking at? One, two, three. Beans, what are you barking at? What's the matter? What are you barking at? Ooh, new bark. Karina, you're good.
Leave it, Mom.
One, two, three.
Not that.
You're barking at nothing. Okay. What yarn? This is Red Heart Super Saver in the color buff. I'm pretty sure I got this particular skein on Amazon, but my usual go-to place for yarn is Michael's, and then Target if I'm desperate. But if I want yarn, I'm going to Michael's. If I want bulk yarn, I'll go to Amazon. So if I want like 4 or 5 skeins of the same color, I'll go on Amazon. But I go to Michael's because I have a teacher discount. They do discounts for teachers, which is lovely. I think it's like 5%, 15%, something like that. Okay. Oh, itchy eye. Two, three, two. Mm. I think I might wrap up the stream when I'm done with this granny square because my arms are really sore. My back is starting to get sore, and I don't know why. Because usually I don't have issues working in this chair. But I'll finish out this granny square and then get it onto the blocking board, and then we can say our goodbyes. So I have one more round to go on this one. One, two, three. Okay. Streaming tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know yet. It really depends on how late I get home, how I'm feeling. I probably won't do another crochet stream until later in the week. I might do a Stardew stream tomorrow if I stream tomorrow. So that's still a question. I think it just going to be how worn out am I after the field trip. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. And how late I'm back. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just a standard granny square stitch pattern. So the one I'm using is on a website called Crochet 365 Knit 2 TOO funtimes.com, and she has just the standard granny square pattern on there. That's basically clusters of double crochets with chains between them. Um, it's definitely not hard to do. I would say if you're a brand new beginner, it's like advanced beginner. Like if you picked up a hook last week, I wouldn't worry about granny squares yet. Um, get all of the standard. Make sure before you move on to like double crochet, what I really suggest is doing single crochet, getting your tension right, getting used to counting, um, get half double crochets, which is probably the next easiest stitch, and tension and counting and all that kind of thing. Learn how to read a pattern that's just made up of single crochets and chains and things like that. And then you can kind of branch out into granny squares. Absolutely, 100% do not start with woobles. Like, or anything that's crocheted in the round, because you're looking at increases and decreases and so much counting that it just makes woobles are not they're good for like people who have been crocheting for a while but don't know how to freehand stuff yet. The other thing I don't like about woobles and other kind of kits like that is that the needle is so tiny. I have this really cool it's right over here, I'll pull it out. I have this really cool Star Wars kit to make, like, I think it makes Yoda and R2D2, this set, and it's got the patterns for all the other ones. The problem is that it came with like a 2mm aluminum, and I have a tremor as it is. And just trying to crochet in the round with a 2mm with a tremor, forget it. It's just like, I'd either have to take my meds 20 minutes before I started crocheting so I wouldn't tremor so badly. I'd probably not use that needle. I'd end up using one of mine, but I don't even know if I have a 2. I might have a 2, but I don't think I do. I'm too old. I'm too old. All right, we've got about 4 more clusters left to do. My dog is bouncing all over the place. I can hear her. I have 2 dogs. I have a boxer lab mix named Cadbury. And then I have a pitty mixed something who is Karina. And Karina is a few years older than Cadbury. They're both rescues. We rescued Cadbury when she was a puppy-ish, like teenage puppy. And Karina we got when she was older. When we got her, she had obviously had puppies recently. But yeah. All right. 1 more cluster, and then we are going to call it good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and let's slip stitch those together. Okay. Come on, behave. Here we go. And tie it off. And then we'll put it back on here. There we go. Okay. We'll put this on the blocking thing.
this.
Okay. That's done. We'll put that to one side. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like I said before, if you could like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of fun stuff, I'd really be grateful. Every little bit helps, including yours. Maybe I will see you tomorrow, maybe not. But if I don't see you tomorrow, have a lovely day. See you next time.